Hello everyone, and let's talk about A Kind of Spark, written by Elle McNicoll. This is a middle grade contemporary book. This was written by an author that has been confirmed to be autistic, and the main character in this is autistic as well, so this is in own voices. This was published in 2020, and this takes place in Scotland. For this one we are following, her name is Adeline and she goes by Addie. It took a couple pages to figure it out. There are some things in school that you realize that she struggles with. For one is her handwriting. One of the teachers that she has yells at her and makes her feel bad about her handwriting, saying it's disgraceful. She has, and then there's other things too. That one teacher in particular seems to have this just does not like Addie feeling vibe that she'll do everything just to keep her down, just to make her feel bad, is not going to give her the support that she gives the other students, that type of thing. She thinks that Addie doesn't belong at the school, that she should go to a special school, thinks, even though Addie is very smart, thinks Addie cheats because, like with math, she does it a different way that makes sense to her, but yet the answers still show correct, but it's not how the teacher wants her to show her work. And so she's like, you're cheating and all of this. And so there is some ableism in this, especially from this teacher, because she thinks that Addie should be at a special school and does not belong at a school with normal kids. Addie does have a friend, and there are some things that do happen as far as bullying and things like that. So you do have a little bit of bullying in here as well. So those are your content and your trigger warnings, so the ableism and the bullying. So one day in school, they start talking about witches and people that were tried for being a witch in Scotland, and they were drowned, and if they survived the drowning, it was proved that they were a witch, so they were killed. And if they drowned on the first attempt, it shows that they were innocent, but oh well, they're dead now. What can they do? And Addie takes a special interest in this and researches it and wants to put up like a memorial to honor the women that were accused and killed, and she fights for it. So she's fighting for what she believes is right, and a lot of people agree with her. She lives in a small town in Scotland, and so she has to go to this town council, and she learns to stand up and speak her mind, and she gets shut down, and she keeps going and keeps bringing it up. She keeps getting shut down, but she learns to be very persistent with her beliefs, and keeps advocating for these women that were wrongly killed. And especially when she starts to compare it, well, you have a memorial for this, which was nothing, but yet why can't we do something for all of these women that were accused? And it's like people just don't want to remember that. You do have scenes in this, and this can be a representation or a content or trigger warning depending on where you are emotionally. You do have a meltdown in this, an autism meltdown, so just be aware of that, and that's just how Addie handles things. So there was an audiobook when I read this book. It was narrated by Katie Townsend, and it is 4 hours and 42 minutes on standard one-time speed. So that's what the book is about. You're just following Addie as she trades one special interest for another. So she's really interested in sharks, and that's one of her special interests. But then once she learns about these witches, her attention focuses to the witches and the women that were accused of witchcraft. And that becomes her special interest and a driving force in this book. And that's the story. So it is a contemporary, and her dealing with that, facing the ridicule, the ableism, and standing up for what's right so that she feels like these women get the justice that they deserve. As far as the words that are in this book, you do have the R slur, which is the derogatory term used for someone who is disabled, and they assume mentally disabled and all of that. So you do have the R slur popping up twice. You have the word hellish once, the word God once, not in a religious context, hell twice, and bloody once. And where this is in Scotland, bloody, the way this is used, it's like an F-bomb type of a situation. So that's what the book is about. That's your content and your trigger warnings. I do highly recommend this one. This was the Autism Reads selection for September, and I enjoyed it. And the other person that commented says that they enjoyed it as well. So yeah, I do recommend this. This is this Oh, I read another one. There's a book on the back, Show Us Who You Are, that also has autism rep in it as well. And I did read that one as well, and both were really good. So I do recommend this author if you're looking for books written by autistic authors with autism rep in them, especially middle grade. So yeah, this particular edition that I have, the actual story is 176 pages. That does not include the acknowledgments, which I generally don't read those anyway. I mean, sometimes I will, depending on my mood. And then there is a snippet that is not numbered, which is a excerpt from Show Us Who You Are by this author. This author does have an Instagram profile. I do follow this author on Instagram, and I'm looking to see, oh, here we go. There's the about the author right on the back cover. Okay. Oh, is this some other books by this author? Let me see. Oh no, these are books from a particular brand that it's showing in the back. Okay. About Elle McNicoll. Elle McNicoll is a neurodivergent Scottish writer who's happily living in London. She has worked as a bookseller, bartender, blogger, and babysitter, all while writing stories for her own amusement. After completing her master's degree dissertation on the lack of own voices representation for neurodivergent children, she grew tired of the lack of inclusivity in the industry and wrote a book herself. Her first children's novel, A Kind of Spark, it's her debut, sweet. Debuted to high acclaim, earning a Schneider Family Award Honor Book designation and a starred review from School Library Journal. Her second novel, Show Us Who You Are, which was just as good, is her love letter to neurodivergent friendships and her belief that disabled kids belong in genre fiction. Yes, they do. So I highly recommend this book. Yeah, let me know if you've read this, if you have read Show Us Who You Are by Elle McNicoll, and if you have read it, whether you liked it or not. If you have any recommendations for authors that are autistic, definitely let me know. I'm always open to finding new authors that are autistic as well, especially for the Autism Reads, which I am planning on continuing in 2025. And I will be continuing alternating the age categories, so from adult, middle grade, young adult, middle grade, and then rotating again. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.